Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, License to Roam. You can follow me on Twitter /xAdedWithStratman. And if you enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate a like, subscribe, and any comments as I get started and hope to grow the channel. Right, for this analysis, I'll be focusing on Barcelona's tremendously gifted young defender, Pau Cubarsi, who's been an absolute revelation with his accomplished form in the heart of defence. Right, for this one, I'd like to particularly focus on his phenomenal man of the match showing against Napoli in the Champions League last week, which really encapsulated perfectly just what a brilliant operator he already is against one of the truly elite centre forwards in world football in Osimhen, as he continued to perform with a maturity, confidence, and authority that belies his years. Obviously, his masterful showing versus Atletico Madrid on the weekend that followed, where he did a great job of blunting Morata nicely, and obviously earned himself a call up to the Spain squad, offers a further testament to his incredible upward trajectory and what a bright future the 17-year-old has. Right, on to the analysis, and we'll start with his offensive output, and obviously his movement and positional sense was a key foundation to impact proceedings so heavily. Obviously, as you can see here, just the way he was so comfortable drawing the press, and obviously fires that pass to Cancelo, which then frees up Romeu to complete the third man combination there just to help break the press. Even though he's not necessarily the one bypassing the press, he facilitates it in many ways like his teammates by drawing and attracting and inviting the pressure to then allow his teammates to be in beneficial situations. So just that wide splitting, obviously, which we'll touch on further, was key. Another situation here, they've got that 3v2. Napoli's press was broken really well in this game by the likes of Cubarsi and obviously Fermin Lopez, which I've done in a previous video. But yeah, just splitting wide, has all that space to use his dribbling to run into, step into midfield essentially. And he's so comfortable there. And as you can see, Barcelona in the process of creating that 3-box-3 shape there, where they overload the midfield and get some really good combinations and third man situations going. So just really clever the way he morphs from playing in that back four and back three, which Barcelona do. And from there, he can impact the game so well. Forward facing, great field of view, dribbling, passing. He can do it all, but just a great way to start Barcelona's attacks here. Obviously, the comfort dealing with pressure and inviting it was so key, where he split wide there, drawn the pressure, then comfortably found the free man in that 3v2 scenario. So a really great press breaker, a great comfort on the ball to just open those passing angles with little clever touches, and the body shape just really nice. And he has that execution to match as well. So just such a great press beater for his team against the first line of pressure. See another situation here where he's just so comfortable. You know, the lateral pass from Araujo is obviously a pressing trigger for Napoli and many teams in world football. And he's so calm. The ball's not even there yet. Obviously, he's being pressed aggressively, but he just remains so calm in the face of this situation and easily spots a free man, Cancelo, which he's obviously helped open that passing lane as well. So just the composure and the way he handles adversity and tough situations is quite remarkable. Another situation here, not directly involved, but he's just helped draw that pressure, which has opened the passing lane so Ter Stegen can find Cancelo. And as you can see, Cancelo's getting pressed, but Cubarsi, with that wide, deep position, he offers a perfect outlet to just reset the attack if he needs to pass backwards to him, and they can start again while they wait for the next weakness in the Napoli shape. So really cool stuff again. Obviously, his line-breaking, defence-splitting passing was a real feature, and this was a fine example here where Rafinha's dropped and he's bypassed multiple Napoli players. You know, just the vision, the confidence on that grand stage of the Champions League to execute his actions like a veteran was just so impressive, in this pass was certainly a testament to it. Another nice little situation here where Gundogan would sometimes drop into the defence or another midfielder, and that would free him up, cause that little issue in the marking structure, the pressing scheme. And he had that space to dribble upfield, and you can see he can dribble, create another flow-on effect with the overload already in place. So just another little tweaks that Barcelona could use to get the best out of him and maximise his strengths and sort of amplify his team's effectiveness. So Xavi's certainly using him well, and he's obviously a big fan of him. Here's that masterful passing again, where just a huge long range pass, a booming ball to obviously beat that press emphatically. So, and then that puts Marl in a fine position where he can hit Lopez on the layoff, and he can just attack forward facing, acres of space to cut into. So essentially he's almost created a transitional situation out of a methodical build up with just one pass that's just completely eliminated the press. So just masterful stuff there from him. Another one here, really, with the situation, draws the press and just hits Lopez. Completely dismantled 5 players of Napoli there with just one foul swoop. So just the range of passing over medium, short, longer distances was just so impressive. And he always backs himself. He doesn't mind if he turns the ball over on occasion. But just the fact that he has the ambition and can hit those progressive passes is just going to be so beneficial for Barcelona, obviously now and in the future. pretty much another situation there. Koundé is edged in field, so the ball can obviously travel a less distance. He's obviously completely broken the press there. Yamal's pinning his marker, so Cubarsi's just spotted him up, and that obviously generates a really positive attacking situation out of nothing, just from a build-up. So to have players that can do that's just invaluable to Barcelona. This was another particularly excellent situation where just that ability to completely shred defenses, where he's done this outrageously ambitious long ball into Fermin Lopez straight into his path. Obviously, he misses the chance, but just the ability to oblige runners from anywhere on the pitch. And it just causes defenses so much issues because, you know, if they press him, he's so comfortable too and he can beat you. But if you hold off him, you give him extra time and space to make those passes too. So you're kind of at a lose-lose situation. But just the sheer difficulty of this pass to make is just incredible, and he does it with aplomb. Another one here, the line breaking, passing straight to Gundogan between the lines there. He's eliminated 4 players in the center of the field there. It's a pass that just breathes life into attack so well. And the way he uses his eyes and body shape to disguise the passing is just so impressive, just to put off those defenders and just manipulate their positioning that little bit more. So just the execution, decision-making, judgment, the vision, the ability to be able to spot those teammates in advantageous positions between the lines was just an absolute key. It's a situation here where he's ahead of the play, essentially stepped into midfield, sees the free man, and then obviously this puts the wheels in motion for Barcelona's opener against Napoli, where he didn't obviously finish the move off, but he definitely played his part in it. So really cool little passage there, just stamping his mark in so many phases. So onto the defensive work now, and just so impressive the way he made life really difficult for Osimhen. Obviously that back to goal, whenever he dropped, he would always be shoving him, pushing him, jostling, getting touch tight, just making sure he kept him in front of him and he couldn't turn him, and use that speed and agility to get at the Barca backline. And yeah, just never really allowed him any comfort on the ball, and he was that unsettling presence, and he has that nice little bit of grit and toughness and physicality to sort of impose himself on opponents. So that was pretty cool to see too. Just like in this situation here, Osimhen's wanting to drop deep, but Cubarsi's sort of just holding him, pulling him, sort of semi-tackling him. So cool to see a little bit of those dark arts, which is really good for defenders to have that edge to their game when they want to rise to the occasion. And obviously he's mentioned someone like Sergio Ramos as one of his idols, so to sort of lean into that's a pretty cool little feature to add to already just the intelligence and the tactical understanding and the technical ability of him. So nice string to his bow. He wasn't intimidated at all by the world-class Osimhen. Just as a situation called for it, he wouldn't have any problem pressing high onto a midfield if that was his marking assignment, given the conditions. And on here, he's right in the face of Anguissa and obviously pressed so high, but he fulfills those roles and responsibilities so well, knows what to do in the given situation. So obviously the key to this is Barcelona balancing his movements with support from the defenders shifting across and the midfield too. Obviously just the awareness and the scanning and how he's awake to situations. Obviously Osimhen was in front of him, then peeled off the blind side, and Cubarsi adjusted his body posture 3 or 4 times just so he could manage the situation while keeping his eye on the ball. So the way he processed situations so quickly and made excellent decisions, fundamentally sound ones, was just really impressive. And this was a nice example where he's just monitoring everything, keeping tabs on everything, even though, you know, it's a massive threat to deal with. He just did it so calmly and made a great decision. Same here, tracking Osimhen into the box. He just kept tailoring his position depending on where the ball holder was. And he obviously reads the ball flight trajectory so quickly and makes the clearance to remove the danger. And obviously got in front of Osimhen was key, because once you let him get in front of you to get that first touch, it's just, you know, it's all over. It's a goal for Napoli. So just always sort of monitoring things so well, scanning, and just aware of what was going on around him with his teammates and the opponents. Same situation here, he's tracked the run so well, you know, constantly keeping touch tight, keeping tabs of him, because he obviously didn't want him to split behind him, because once they get on the blind side, it can be tough. And once you get in front of him and get that first touch, it can lead to a really good shot. So just managed it so well. So he got the little details spot on to put himself in the best position to succeed and make the intervention. So just having that sort of presence and using his body and his awareness to know where his opponent was at pretty much all times was a great asset. Obviously tracking the runner in behind there, Osimhen, sort of a little bit of the ball was bobbling around a bit, and Osimhen was off at the races, and Cubarsi had the presence of mind to turn, sprint back and make an excellently timed tackle that helped his team regain the ball and create a counter of their own. So just really strong in the duels all game here and alert to the runs. So impressive. Obviously, when the time came to use his heading prowess, he was fine doing that too against the towering Osimhen. So yeah, once again, timed the leap perfectly, read the ball in the air nicely, and sort of emphatically eliminated that threat. Obviously just getting details like when Di Lorenzo, the fullback, would embark on those underlapping runs, just so aware to it. Wasn't drawn out by any other markers, but just getting those fundamentals spot on, the vision to spot what was going on around him, to just be awake to whatever was going on. So that was pretty cool to see too. And same as these situations where if Araujo would go up for the header, he would just sort of drop back and be alert to those midfield runners. So Anguissa's wanting to get the flick on there, but Cubarsi's just curving his run there to stop the potential of Anguissa getting in behind there in a really dangerous situation, bearing down on goal. And there's just a similar situation there where obviously Politano's ducked in, Cubarsi's awake to the threat, Cancelo's stepped out, so Cubarsi's awake to the space that can be exploited, and he makes a clearance there to eliminate that passage really well. It's another fine example of his awareness and just offering that support to the teammate. Obviously, in this case, he started off by marking Traore. He quickly knew he wasn't going to be involved in the passage, so he jetted back to help Araujo with Osimhen, and then he gets across and makes a top tackle to stop the attack dead. So just really clever stuff. Obviously, always alert, knowing if his colleagues need support or whatever, and just where to be at the right time. And to finish off, this was just such a great example, obviously, of the partnership him and Araujo have developed, but also just the way the Napoli runners here, Politano and Osimhen, they basically switched, they've crossed over, trying to manipulate that back line there. But obviously they weren't having any of it. As Cubarsi took on Osimhen, Araujo took on Politano, and that really held them in good stead to stop this attack from getting really dangerous. And obviously later in this move, Cubarsi made a key header to clear the danger, which we focused on earlier, but just so tough to deal with situations like that with running at speed. Obviously they're forward facing, so much momentum, just to swap those assignments and deal with the threats was just really impressive from both players. It was a testament to the great performance on their way to progressing. Obviously, Xavi's just so impressed, as the whole football world is really, but this is what he had to say on the youngster. The bottom line is that when Cubarsi has the ball, my heart rate doesn't go up. That's the best quality he has. I feel calm when the 17-year-old has the ball. That's priceless. Napoli pressed, but he always found the best option. And when he plays long, it's with purpose, not just to kick it. They landed his teammates' feet. He's a marvel to me. And then defensive colleague Araujo then added, the truth is that Pau is spectacular. He is a homegrown talent. He's very good, and not only with the ball, he also plays well in the duels. He is a great player, and I think he is the future of this club. I'm happy because we complement each other very well. He with his characteristics and I with mine. We complement each other very well, and I hope it will be like this for many years. With the humility he has, he is a great player and works very well. Obviously, that's the analysis of Barcelona's young defensive colossus that is Pau Cubarsi. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video, and have a great day. Stay tuned for the next analysis.